Yes, people, never a foul. You know what it is, man. It's 30 degrees outside. I stink. I need the shower today. So you best go wash your feet because I need to wash mine. But today we are joined by Mr. Osiguna, who finds our weather very cute. And also Mr. Tyrone in the building. He's got one last ride from Martial, but loads to talk about. What we saying, guys?
Good. It's Friday, man. I feel like I'm always happy on a Friday, to be fair. Who can't be happy on a Friday, man? So big up the people that are watching. Make sure you smash a like, subscribe, support Osiguna's channel as well. We got Cass in 3D today. Look at him, big on the screen. People, look at that.
It's just we used to this by now. This is
yeah.
New now.
You need to show them sometimes. You need to let them know that you're in 4K sometimes.
No. You know what it is? When you got free, it's like it's hard to fill out the screen. You know what I mean? It's just how do you make it into a free if everyone's the same kind of like size pause. But yeah, man. That's just the way.
I'm all good, man. How are you?
I'm all right, man. I had a banging lunch. I can't lie.
You can't say banging lunch and not tell us what you didn't eat. What you did eat.
No, some like minted lamb koftas and Daps made what's it called? He made like this mint yogurt sauce. I made like a different tomato kind of sauce as well. It was just, and some pita bread, man. It's all good.
A bit of flavors. Yeah, nice.
Actually, to be fair, I'm just sick at cooking. I'll be honest. Like anything I need to make sauces, all that. I'm out of this world. But anyways, big up everyone.
How are you, Ozzy Gooner, as well? How are you, Ozzy?
Bro, I can't complain. Look, I can't complain. I had a great dinner. I got back. I got the notification, Cass, saying, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm smiling. I'm kicking back. I'm shits and giggles, bro. I'm having a mad time."
You feeling Saliba today?
You know, I'm feeling Saliba here, Declan Rice there, during Timber here. I'm not saying Kai Havertz. I'm not saying that. I'm going there. But I'm seeing some moves, bro. You know what I mean? You know,
look, this is what I mean, man. This is getting gassed already. Like, I don't blame you. Arsenal moving serious. Declan Rice and Timber to be completed today. Well, the medicals at least. I'm not too sure if Penn's going to get put to paper straight away for everyone to be announced. It would make sense if that happens, or maybe they just do it on Monday. There's obviously Man United news. Onana just looks like it's all done. Hojlund as well. Green would go in the other way potentially. Liverpool will not pay 50 million for Lavia. Along them lines, Tchouameni. So it's coming out a lot. Madrid Sissones, all this stuff. Valverde or Tchouameni has to be sold to fund this Mbappe stuff. So Arsenal fans who are heavily linked, watch out for that one, which would be interesting, which we've spoken about, I think, around last week or earlier this week. And there's Tottenham stuff, man. They're moving so silent in the background. No one's paying attention, but should we pay attention? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've got lots to talk about. But let's start with Arsenal, man. Ty, obviously, you've been doing your thing, doing whatever you have to do, but I haven't really heard your opinion on what this is for Arsenal, man. With Declan Rice and Julian Timber, that's just a double swoop, and like how dangerous are Arsenal now looking? Like this is official stuff.
Yeah. Do you know what? First of all, I think the fans should be happy because they talk about obviously the transfer window and wanting to be proactive and moving in the right market, and they are doing that. First of all, for me, Declan Rice was always going to be 100 million. So whether people like the price or not, I'm one of them guys, a bit like Jack Grealish, where I was like, he doesn't cost 100 million, but to Aston Villa, he's 100 million. To West Ham, Declan Rice is 100 million. So no matter if Declan Rice moved to Arsenal or not, they were always going to get that figure, whether even Man United coming for him, we would be the one spending 100 million. So no matter what, you've got to look at the price and put it aside and say, the player, what are they getting in the player? They're getting a leader. They're getting someone that can do box to box. They get someone that can play number 6, and someone that I feel like is going to come to Arsenal. And even though he's raised in the West Ham sort of youth team, if you're in England, you get Arsenal, you get the football club, you know what you want to do, and you know what the fans are going to be expecting. So I think Declan Rice is a good signing, especially at 24 years of age. And then I think Timber, another one, they're looking in this 3-4-2-1 formation. He's another one that can play comfortably as a right back, comfortably as a right centre back. He's quick. He can pass through the lines. He can ball carry. That's another clever signing, especially when you've got Ben White, who is a good player. But when you're playing in the Champions League and in the Premier League, you might need to rotate. And Arsenal fans are in that position now where if Timber's starting, they don't mind. If Ben White's starting, they don't mind. That's where you want to be. You want to be in a position where whoever's starting, you're like, do you know what? I don't even feel any different because they're both very good players. And then you look at it, obviously, with Kai Havertz. That's the one that I would be least excited about. However, I understand the move in terms of he can play false 9, he can play different positions. I don't think he'll be the main starting 8. If I'm honest, I still think they need another proper starting 8 in there. But I think with Havertz, he will add something. And I think...
Is that not going to be Declan Rice?
Say again?
Isn't Declan Rice going to be the starting 8? That's why they're looking at DM.
It depends. Yeah, if they're looking at DM, then I think Rice should go there, because then he can use his up and down skills, and Odegaard can be sort of the quality player in terms of the stardust, if you want to call it that. But I do feel like with Kai Havertz, a lot of people forget what he was like at Leverkusen. And I think his best trait, when people say, oh, what's Kai Havertz's best trait? I think it's actually arriving late into the box, a bit like what Lampard used to do for Chelsea. If he can arrive late in the box, he's got a great header, he can finish, he's very intelligent with the way he moves. I think if Arsenal can get him in behind that striker and get him arriving late, that can add another 10, 15 goals, because Odegaard was doing that towards the end of the season. I was starting to say, like, Odegaard don't really score enough goals as a number 10, even though I like him, and he's a silky type of number 10, which I like. But towards the end of the season, Odegaard was popping up with goals, arriving in the right positions. Havertz can add something to the team with that, and that's what I think he brings to Arsenal. So overall, I think it's a good window for Arsenal. But the one thing I'm going to say, if I had to pick a negative, is that, and it's only a negative right now because the window is not closed, Cass, but
yeah,
Timber, they've got Rice, they've got Havertz, Saliba signed a new deal. I do feel like if they go into next season and they lose Thomas Partey and don't replace him, then I think the board have given Arsenal a reason to fail, and that's the excuse fans are going to use. And I don't think it's an excuse. I would say it's incompetency, because you've gone and signed Rice, Timber, Havertz. But if you're doing 4 or 5 of them signings, you might as well complete it by getting that second midfielder in that will say, right, Arsenal, you've got no excuses but to challenge. And if you don't win the title and you fall short, you don't have to say, oh, it's because we didn't have this player. Arsenal fans now have seen their team come second. They were winning the league up until March, and then they fell short. Now go out and back him fully, get everything they need, and then the ball's in Arteta's court to do it. Because if they get Rice, Timber, Havertz, and then they don't get that second midfielder, which a lot of the fans want, or the one that's going to play in case Partey leaves, then I think they've given them a reason to fall short. So far, a good window. Like, if you said to me, 7th of July, Cass and Ozzy, they've signed 4 players or 3 players, whatever it is so far, but in positions they need, you would say, do you know what? Arsenal being proactive. So, like, what more can you want? And there's still a month before the Premier League starts. So there's time for Arsenal to get more business done. There's no more excuses for me. And that's a good position to be in for Arsenal. They just need to get that other midfielder. Whoever it is, I want to see who Ozzy Gunnar would want. Because if Partey stays, cool, because he can play the 6 and the 8 and Rice can. But if Partey goes, as well as Xhaka, they definitely need a midfielder. And I want to see who he would like to come in.
Interesting.
I like that. Actually,
who do you want to come in? Who do you want to come in?
Well, the thing is, it's who can we afford? And I feel you on the Thomas Partey move. I understand that. I'm a kind of guy. I'm a fan of Thomas Partey. I think
I'd keep him, Gunnar.
You can do massive if you want. You can do massive if you want to quickly, just to answer your question quick. You got 50 million overall. You've just sold Xhaka for 20. Yeah, this is going off the budget. You 250 million 21. Budget, 21 million now is off there. So now you got 71. If you sell Thomas Partey around 30, you got 100 million, and that's not including other sales.
And see, and that's where it comes down to it. You sell Thomas Partey to add to the mix, and that's when people are going to say, "Are we replacing Thomas Partey with another body, and then we're still light?" Now that's a very good argument to have. You get what I'm saying? So if Tchouameni is going to be the guy that everyone wants, and we get, don't get me wrong, he's a quality player, but he's going to cost you about £90 million.
Well, which is what Cass is saying you might have left.
Yeah, and then you've got sort of a shoestring on the bench of a Jorginho and El Neni and ESR. So you're going to have to go back in and invest in another midfielder. And then when you change up the midfield like we are, new body Declan Rice, and that's a quality signing. And like you said, £105 million, everyone was paying that. So that's great. But how long has he been an Arsenal player? All of 10 seconds? Not even yet. So no preseason, nothing. That's a new midfielder in the spine of the team. Then to get another brand spanking new midfielder who hasn't played in the Prem, who hasn't played side by side Declan Rice, if you know what I'm saying, to then expect him to hit the ground running in just a preseason, it disrupts a lot. So this is where the Thomas Partey argument comes sort of into the light. Maybe you keep Thomas Partey in to sort of ease another player in, and that's when the Lavia discussion comes in. Now, Lavia, don't get me wrong, 19-year-old coming in as well to add to our quality, and then if we keep Thomas Partey, I would say yes, I would like Lavia and Partey. But if Partey is 100% no, I want out, I don't want to fight for my position, and he's going to Juve and we get the money, then we got to go good. We got to go big. And we can't muck about, because just like you said, my guy, if we're going to go in this season and we're going to go in and spend the kind of money we did on Kai Havertz, spend the kind of money we did with Declan Rice, that's Utd Timber. You look at that, and that's a statement. That's a letter of intent to the whole Premier League. We're coming in serious. We're not coming in like last season, a number one target. Someone comes in, we run away. No. Number one target, we want him. We're going to stick around. And that's what they did. We came in early and got business done, but serious business done. We're not talking dribs and drabs. We're not talking, oh, yeah, he's all right. He's not too bad. You know, Spurs last season. Oh, we won the transfer window cup with fucking a retirement village fucking FC signings. You know what I mean? It was serious signings. I know Kai Havertz is a bit of a, a bit of a mystery, but it's serious signings when you look at Declan Rice, a possible Lavia, and a Utd Timber. And most Arsenal fans haven't seen this probably since they've started following Arsenal. So a letter of intent from Arsenal. Yes, if the board don't back Mikel Arteta throughout this whole transfer window in order for him to get his preferred lineup at the start of the season, not this transfer window and the next, it needs to be now.
Yeah,
because we can't.
Now, I agree with you, because, like you said, if you've got basically 75% of what you need, you might as well get the added 25%, because all that's going to happen is Arsenal potentially fall short, Ozzy, and then next season you go and get that extra midfielder. But it's like, well, why did you just get him 12 months ago if you could have got him now? So that's why I'm saying Arsenal might as well just go all out and then spend. And if next summer they say, do you know what, we're not spending that much, we're holding back, it'll be like, okay, I understand, because you went all out to try and win us the Premier League or the Champions League or whatever your ambitions are, but we fell short. And that's why I think, do you know what, it's only one signing, you've got a month left, go and do it. And I agree with you. If I actually had my choice, forget what's happened on the out of football side, but I would keep Thomas Partey and I would go and get someone like Lavia, because he's not going to come in and say, right, I have to start every game. However, he's competent when he does start. He's learning off Thomas. Thomas can then leave next season. And then if you want to go big for another midfielder, then you've then reserved a bit of your budget by signing Lavia on a cheap. And it's just whether Arsenal want to move smartly. The only question I have, right, Cass, is that Lavia could come in and they could sign him for, say, 40 million. Let's just say like 40 million, agree a fee like that, say that on average. It's not just about going to get Lavia, because I think Arsenal could get Lavia. It's about the player wanting to also come to Arsenal. And I'm not saying that Lavia doesn't want to come to Arsenal. We don't know that yet, because we're hearing it's Liverpool at the moment ahead in the queue. If Lavia doesn't want to come to Arsenal, and that's sort of like the alternative for 40 million that, you know, is good for the squad, I'm trying to think to myself, for Arsenal, who else is out there that they can buy who's sort of in that price range that Lavia is in, who comes in and I think can have the impact that Lavia does. And that's the hard part, because if it's not Lavia, who else is it, Cass?
Well, I suppose we can dissect that little part as well, but there's only ones that we can actually link it to. There's only two at the moment.
Someone's saying Amrabat in there.
Oh, don't you dare. Evers is saying,
we all know where he's going.
Yeah, United got first. Here we go, new doctor for Martial. I don't think doctors actually worked too many wonders. If a guy's injured, he's injured. Stanji is saying that the news are false. Real Madrid have a positive net spend of 70 million since COVID. They can spend 200 million without any problem. Who told you that? Diraj said Erdegaard was Arsenal's top goal scorer. And then Michael Talks Football says, so tired, one last dance for Marcel, part 5 now.
Big up, Michael. Hope you're good, bro. Yeah, man. We'll save it to the end at the start of the season. But yeah, doctor's coming in to save Martial only. You earn his wages.
Yeah.
Make sure you smash a like, people, by the way. There's 287 of you in there.
Yeah, literally, it's 86 likes. It's not even over 100. You guys are failing me today. You're failing me today. What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
Man?
Sun's out as well. Everyone should be in even a better mood.
Even in a better mood. You heard that first. There's that 300 now. So yeah, let's see what that's happening. It's 9 away from 100. But yeah, man.
Sorry, what do you think then, Cass, on that then?
I'm going to say one more name in there. And I don't know if it's true, to be fair, with this the Champions League release clause or anything along them lines. I've seen actually that's a good one. Hit 44 says get Savic instead of Lavia experience for
Savic. They saying the one from Lazio.
Milinkovic-Savic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna add that, my guy. I was gonna add that to the discussion. I really was, and say push Dex over to be a 6, push Dex to be a 6, and put Milinkovic-Savic in there. Double-digit assists, double-digit goals. You know what I mean? Like
30 million as well. So yeah, that Rice could be the 6. He could be there, and then put Milinkovic-Savic there. Be a very good midfield. I'm going to say one more name. I'm going to say Caicedo. Other than the Tchouameni stuff and them needing or wanting to sell,
that's a big money, yeah.
I'm going to say Caicedo. I don't know if there's a Champions League release clause in there. It could be rubbish, and I don't know if I want to believe it. Something like 85 million pounds if he wants to go to a Champions League club. There's a promise there. The Chelsea thing's gone on hold at the moment. The 100 million fee, they don't want to pay it. But if someone that is playing in the Champions League and someone that was linked with them, and somewhere that Caicedo might favour, it could be a thing. If you're willing to pay up to 75, 80 for Tchouameni, why can you not pay that for Caicedo as well? Right?
So it's a good point. But the thing is, I think Caicedo dug his own grave when he came out saying that he doesn't care if he plays Champions League or not. And that kind of hurts. When you look at it from a manager's perspective, you look at Pep Guardiola, he looked at Declan Rice, he doesn't want to play for us, I don't want him. You think Arteta's sort of cut from the same cloth. Wait a minute. He doesn't care if he plays Champions League football or not. Where's your ambition? That's what comes to mind straight away. And then it's like, well, do we really need this player in our squad if he's not being ambitious, that he wants to play in he wants to achieve and excel, or is he just coming here for a paycheck? And I know it's not about everybody has to love to come to the club. That's fine. But you want to come into what we're trying to build now, a successful team. It's about success. And if this guy's not looking to just come into a team and become successful, he's just looking for the coin, then in actual fact, you look at him,
all players come in for the coin. Let's be honest. Like we can
understood, but you don't come out and say something as stupid as that, because when you brand yourself, look, everyone knows they're coming in for the coin. But if you come in for the coin and say, I really don't care about Champions League football, that's you pretty much saying, I really am coming for the coin. And that's when you look at it
look at the way, and I'm not defending Caicedo, but in a way, when you look at where he's come from and where he's raised, maybe Champions League football for him is not the be all and end all, because obviously they want to feed their families. They want to get back to, if they get a big contract, cool. However, they probably just want to play their football, and they probably already appreciate where they are right now, because probably he's in the 2% of people in his region.
I feel you.
Yeah, get that. So maybe it's just a different mental perspective of where he's raised. Whereas us, look, if we're here and I'm a football player, I'm talking to you lot saying, do you know what, boys, I've got an offer from these or these lot. I want to play Champions League. I'll be saying that to you guys because I would want to play it. Whereas he might not think like that, because Chelsea are still as big as club as what Arsenal are. Do you know what I mean?
Look, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Very valid. And the thing is, I understand he's coming in for the dollars. I know he's got a lot of mouths to feed. But if I'm Mikel Arteta and this is Arsenal Football Club, I hate to say this, my sole purpose is Arsenal Football Club, that starting 11, their harmony and our success. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, if he wants big money like Sanchez did when he came to United, for example, it's the wrong reasons. You don't want that.
That's the problem. So that's why I know you can see it. Everybody can see it from Caicedo's perspective. Put yourself in the manager's shoes. You spend 80 million or 90 million on a player who's just said that he's not really in it to be in it. It puts you out there. You're sticking your neck out. And if he doesn't perform, everyone's like, well, he said this is what he wanted. So as a player, sometimes it's a good idea to just shut up, let things happen, and then try. But I think he's dug his own grave, and it's going to be very difficult for it to happen. I think Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta's fed off him, and if you're not part of the equation, you're not part of a team. Aubameyang, you get what I'm saying? Guendouzi, bad attitude, great player. See you later. It's not going to happen at Arsenal. He doesn't put up with crap. He really doesn't. It's not a democracy at Arsenal Football Club. It's you come in, you play, you do your job. You don't, you're gone. And I like that. I don't want that to change.
What about guys in the comments? What's your preference on it? Let me know, man. As well.
Pick up everyone in the comments.
Highbury Ultra says if Partey leaves, we will go in for Caicedo or Tchouameni. After player sales, our net spend will go back down to 80 million this window. Champions League clause, keep an eye on it. See, this is what I mean. It's a Champions League clause. Like, I'm not the only one that's come thinking of this. I'm pretty sure there is. I know Fraser said
it's basically the same clause as what Grealish had then, Cass, because Cass could go to a Champions League club for 100.
Oh, was that it? Then that could be it then. That might be it, because Chelsea can't trigger it. Man United won't trigger it because obviously it's too expensive. The only club that realistically can trigger it is either Man City if they wished for the player, which I don't think, they don't need him.
Yeah.
Or at this current moment of time, Arsenal. I don't know anybody else in the world that's going to be.
No, I agree with you. Well, you know what though? You know what we haven't thought about is what if Arsenal get Havertz now, which they've done, And then with the midfielder situation, they've got Declan Rice. Arteta sees obviously Havertz is maybe an 8 or multifunctional. He sees Rice as a 6 or an 8 because, like you said, of course, Ozzy, I forgot you've got Jorginho as well, who is a controlling midfielder in them games. You beat lower league teams. I think he can start in. But what if they don't sign a midfielder? Like we're all talking like, okay, they need to go out and sign a midfielder. I agree that I think it would be fully backing Arteta and giving him no reason to fail, but we've still got to think about, if Arsenal don't go and sign a midfielder, because it's not like it's a given, and it's not like it's been reported massively that they definitely want a midfielder. We're just assuming that like there's a month left and that's what they need because that's what we think as football fans, so they're going to go and get it. What if they don't sign a midfielder? Where does that leave them then? If Thomas Partey stays and then it's just Declan Rice and Havertz comes in and Xhaka's gone, are they still, would you say you're in a far better position than what you was last season?
You haven't gone like for like with Xhaka. You have improved on Xhaka. The Kai Havertz experiment, it's hard to justify.
Would you be satisfied, Ozzy, then right now if no more midfielders come in? That's the easiest way of putting the question. And Arsenal fans in the comments, if no other midfielder comes in but you keep Partey, are you happy with that?
I would be.
No, I wouldn't be.
Why wouldn't you?
And the reason,
why wouldn't?
And the reason why is Partey is a great midfielder. He's a great midfielder. He's very good. The problem I have is if it's not injury prone, let's say he doesn't get injured like last season, he only got a little bit of a niggle, then it comes to his mindset. And unfortunately, I can't have a player where it's a mindset issue and I drop off from Liverpool. When we played Liverpool in the 16th minute in the chat with the Armory guys, I was saying he needs to come off or Jorginho has to come in. He's dropped his head. And I continued to scream that for every single game that he started. And every single game that he started, he cost us. And it's not that he's a bad player. His head dropped. Now, as a manager or as somebody who's looking from the outside in, I'm not some sort of genius. But when you look at it, you say, I've got a player who's in his 30s, who has been injury prone. That's one. And has it. And now I've seen a possible tendency that when push comes to shove, the pressure's on, his head can drop. I'm now playing the Champions League. What's the chances that either or both come to play again? It's a gamble. Do you get what I'm saying? So you need to think to yourself, I either Band-Aid solution it with Lavia, I Band-Aid it, or I come in and say, stuff it, whoever I want, whether it's Sergej Milinkovic-Savic or it's Tchouameni, I don't know.
Yeah, hit 44 is saying that Savic is a 6'4" Serbian demon. Bring him in. Have you seen the size of Arsenal's team, by the way? You know how many 6'4" players, 6'3" players at Arsenal? They got a big team, Like they barely got any little short ones like 5'8", 5'7".
Yeah, already.
Where's Cazorla?
Where's Cazorla? Gabriel,
most of them are 5'10" and above, and the majority in the 6 foot market as well. I think Milinkovic-Savic makes sense. On the left-hand side, I think he can do that Xhaka role very efficiently. And then if I was to see Declan Rice behind, I'm like, you know what? That just screams quality. Even
with Partey, though.
Yeah, if you keep Partey's not. I haven't. You know what? It's mad that we say Partey's going to leave, but I haven't seen any rumors.
Nah, and if I was an Arsenal fan, Cass, I'd want him to stay because I feel like he's got a different profile to all of them. Because I think he can control and dictate tempo and pass, but I also think he's got the physicality that if he has to impose himself, he can. Look at us. I think we played them. Do you remember last year, Cassia? We played Arsenal, and when Nketiah scored whoever it was in the last minute, right? And Partey trapped back one of our players running down the wing. Was it Rash? Someone was playing on the right, Sancho or Anthony. They were running through, and Partey just bombed back and barged him off the ball. Anthony.
Oh, sorry, you're right. My bad.
Yeah. And he just barged him off the ball. But it's little things like Jorginho is not really going to do that. I don't think, obviously, Havertz is not going to do that. Declan Rice can do that, but I don't know if he's as quick as Partey. But it's just them little things there that I feel like Partey can definitely add to a team that, like we said earlier, you need a squad. We're talking Champions League, by the way. Arsenal are not coming into the Champions League to take part. Arsenal fans believe right now, and if I'm wrong, Ozzy will back me up on this, I believe. But in terms of Europe right now, I reckon you think in top 5 across Europe, you're one of the hardest teams to beat at home at the Emirates going into the Champions League. You'd look at Man City, you'd look at you lot. I think you look at Bayern, you look at Real Madrid, and other than that, PSG get beaten at home a few times a year. Do you know what I mean? Like, it happens. I feel like Arsenal are one of them teams at home that you're going to feel like you could beat anyone at home. Like, you'd want to take them on. And I think that's a good place to be. And Arsenal are not going into the Champions League to take part. They want to go into maybe the quarters, the semis. And I think to have players like Thomas Partey when you're trying to go in the league as well will enable you to compete. And people might agree or disagree, but I think your home form going into the Champions League this year and the way you are and your aura and the way you play football, a lot of teams are going to come to Arsenal and be like, do you know what? It's going to be hard to win here, especially the European teams. And I think Partey also gives you a bit of that experience. And me and Cass were saying last night that if you lose Xhaka, which you've lost already, and lose Thomas Partey, despite Havertz coming in and Rice coming in, you have lost a bit of, yes, they've not won loads of things at Arsenal, but in terms of their rage and where they've been and where they've played, you lose a bit of that experience, that know-how. If you go 1-0 down to Bayern in a quarter-final, are they going to keep it calm or composed, or they're going to get a bit rash? Thomas Partey and Jorginho are them type of players that can give you a bit of that, right, guys, I've been in this situation before, and they're needed sometimes. So I think with Partey, if you keep him, them great. And I think the forgotten man for me is Emil Smith-Rowe, because he's been doing very well in the under-21.
You know what? I said the same, you know, Tyler. You know what?
Yeah.
I've been cussing this guy. I've been calling Croydon
he's
the Croydon.
man.
I don't think he's wicked. And then I see this new guy, and I know it's only under 21s. I know it's only against Israel, but he looks so cut above the rest, right?
Bro, he looks good. He looks mentally like, do you know what? The mad thing with me with Smith-Rowe, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, he could be like a new signing. For me, he's playing very well at the under-21 Euros. He can play on that left 8. He can ball carry.
Easy.
He's physical. And do you know what as well? It's a small thing, but it's a big thing. He's getting interviewed and he's saying the right things. Smith-Rowe is getting asked about like, oh, do you want to break into the England setup with Gareth Southgate and stuff like that? He's like, do you know what? Yeah, I do eventually. But my focus right now is getting into that Arsenal team. And that's what you want to know. You don't want to hear, England and this. That's the Euros. You talk about the further down the line. To get into the England team, you have to perform for Arsenal. And the fact that he's back now, he wants to be fully fit, and he's saying, I want to get in that Arsenal team. That's what you want to hear as an Arsenal fan, because if he's on form, he's a good player. I'm not talking about his injuries. I'm talking about a fully fit Smith-Rowe. He offers you something. So I think right now, Ozzy, he's he's a forgotten man.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. ESR has really shown up in under 21s, and look, he had a bad stint with injuries last season. We all know what Emil Smith-Rowe can bring to this club and to this team. It's just that the injuries hit him, and it's been a long road through recovery. He's a quality player. He's coming back, and it's a good problem to have Emil Smith-Rowe on the bench and to sit there and say, can we play him on the left wing? Yes. Can we play him as a number 10? Yes. I have Leandro Trossard there. Can I play him on the left wing? Can I play him as a 9? Can I play him as a 10? Yes. It's very good problems to have when you've got players that can play more than one position and actually maybe impose themselves in more than one position. And Emil Smith-Rowe right now is one of those players. Most of the players that Arsenal have right now, and I'm not tooting it, but playing more than one position. Declan Rice can probably play 3 if you want to count centre-back. And it looks like Mikel Arteta is looking for that. He's looking for, yes, you can play left. I want you to play right. Yes, you can play 9. You can play 10. You can play false. I want that. I don't want a one-man band. And it just seems to me right now with the addition of Emil Smith-Rowe, hopefully a fit Emil Smith-Rowe and obviously a hungry Emil Smith-Rowe, it's going to be an injection off the bench or even in the starting line. I do believe, though, if we go through and don't sign another midfielder, I'm happy with Partey. I got nothing against it. But if we don't sign another midfielder, we're going to be short. So I agree with you guys. Lavia and Partey isn't a bad problem to have. It's good. Lavia is sitting there on the bench, and he's got Partey beside him. Partey is showing him to go. He's feeding off him.
I don't think.
And eventually, natural succession.
You missed that one name. Jorginho's still there, and he's got 1 year left on his contract.
And I'm happy. And honestly, with Jorginho, everyone was saying Jorginho probably has to go. I go, no, I want to keep him. Everyone talks about having depth. Depth doesn't mean like for like off the bench.
And a controller as well. He's unique in what he does for your club, controlling.
Yeah, the only way you have Jorginho if you've got legs in front of him. Like I would say Erdegaard in front of him might be a little bit too soft for what I like. But maybe if you want to change up, let's say Jorginho's a controller. Imagine having engines in like a Declan Rice, and just give me another name.
You know what, Cass? Jorginho and stuff like that, and you need legs, you need a bit of physicality and combat. Don't play Jorginho, but Jorginho's not going to moan. He's probably like, do you know what? I know I'm not ready I know I'm not that guy for that game. So cool, I'm here for the squad. So. Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. Guys, keep getting your super chats in as well if you want to get them read. Keep making sure you're liking the video. 600 of you here, so keep supporting. And also, Ozzy Gooner's channel is down below in the description as well. So go and show some love. Look, he's staying up until like 1 in the morning to, come and stream with us. So big up every time. And
it's all love
in the building. But yeah, now you deserve your flowers as well, man. You got, people can like the stream, they can subscribe as well, man. So big up the guys in the comments. What is it? What are you saying then? Not Liverpool. If we talk about.
I was going to just say though as well, just on that little part. By the way, Ossie Gooner's channel is in the pinned. If you want to go subscribe there. Why I say Emil Smith Rowe's suited on the left hand side because he played on the left wing.
You mean left wing or left 8?
Left wing.
He played left wing, so he played mainly on the left wing before. Yeah, he played in the 10, which I think he can rotate with Erdegaard at times. But maybe I think that could be Havertz's role. Maybe I don't know. We don't know yet until pre-season happens. When you think of Xhaka, he used to remember how Xhaka used to play for Arsenal last season, right? He would tug the left hand side while Martinelli could cut in, and then behind him would be like a Zinchenko who just cut inside and tuck inside the midfield. That's why I think Emil Smith Rowe might sound like a like for like kind of thing. That's all I think is.
And you're looking, it gives you a big option going forward. I mean, you got a player who's good. You can rate his boot. You know, he's always in the middle of the box when he wants to. When he's trying to get a goal, he's always dead center. He's always finding the right position. You never know. I honestly like the problem Arsenal have right now. I just want, if we're gonna go through this transfer window, one more midfielder. I know there's been a couple of chats saying we don't need it. Trust me, guys, one more midfielder, and you guys will be jumping for joy and thanking me in January that we were talking about this.
Do you know what as well? I always forget, Cass. Now you're saying on the left as well. They've got Trossard, who's obviously going into his first full season. So they've got Martinelli, Trossard, and now Smith Rowe that can all play on the left. And this is why I think, who was it? Northside was saying yesterday, even though Reece Nelson signed a new deal, I personally don't think he's going to be at Arsenal very long. And then obviously, I don't think that's a good move. And then obviously, Nicolas Pepe, Cass, is obviously potentially probably leaving. So I think the only place they probably need a bit of depth, but I don't think they'll get this window, is on the right-hand side where Bukayo Saka is going to be used a lot. But they want to be in a position where, if someone comes in, they're like, yeah, do you know what? We're not missing Saka too much, like they are on the left-hand side with 3 options. That might be a position that obviously next summer they need to look at,
Yeah, I agree. Hit 44 says, if United need a midfielder, we have Lokonga for you.
Bro, we're ready to go.
Look no further.
Yeah, we're ready to go. If you want Lokonga, man, we'll give you a good deal, man. Better deal than what you got on Mount. I'm telling you, we take care of ours. You know what I mean? People go on Reece Nelson, right? And I'm going to give you guys my cut on Reece Nelson. You know how I'm not going to compare quality for quality. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played his part at Manchester United. And the part that he played was off the bench, impact, last 10 minutes. Sometimes you just need that player who can come in the last 10 minutes, get you that cheeky goal. And I know it's like, oh, it's a long-term deal. It's not good. It's not this. Understood. But when you don't have depth, you're going to scream and whinge, Arsenal fans, we don't have depth. And then when we do have some players that could give you something in a game here and there, you scream and moan that he's not good enough. It's a double-edged sword at Arsenal. You can't win. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And that's the problem I have. I just say, oh, but he's not good enough. I can't go through in FIFA settings and get every single player I want. You know what I mean, bro? This is realities, settings. It's different. Sometimes you got to make shift, I can't go get Riyad Mahrez and put him on a bench. I'd love to. I can't.
Yeah, it's
true. Riyad.
True. What was you going to say? Moving on to Liverpool as well. Today, I can't remember what his name is. I've seen his name loads. I'm going to go find his name, but along the lines of this, they do not want to pay 50 million for Romeo Lavia. So, and I haven't exactly seen Arsenal wanting to pay 50 million for him either. I don't believe no club rates this guy at 50 million, right? How much is he worth? That's the first question.
I think they're playing hardball. I think both Liverpool and Arsenal are thinking, you know what? Let's just play hardball. See if we can get him down to 30, to 40 million. A flat 40.
I got a good way of looking at it, and it's a question for both of you. If Southampton weren't relegated, how much do you think he costs? If they weren't relegated, then do you think 50 million is fair?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is,
mainly because the relegation, it's like, okay, we'll just take off 50 million and say 35 million. But if there was in the Prem, you would probably say, okay, I get it, 50 million. Do you see what I mean?
What's James Maddison worth?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, more than 40. And I think that's what it is. I think what Southampton are trying to do now is Lavia should be a 35 million player. For me, Lavia, 35 million, cool, you get it. But they're looking at what other clubs are doing now, and it's like they're selling for the potential. So they don't want to undersell because they feel like, oh my God, if he actually performs at Liverpool or Arsenal and he does amazing, and then the board are saying, we only got 35 million. Where if they get 50 million, it's like the extra 15 million, which he actually shouldn't be costing, is covering the potential profit they, could have made because he's done very well there. And if he does fail, they'll be like, oh, cool, we pocketed 50 million and he was overhyped. So then a win-win. It's like a win-win for Southampton trying to ask for 50 million because we all know.
Well, Southampton currently spending. They're buying that one of the guys for like 9 million. That Northern Ireland international from Man City, and then they're looking at buying that Borges as well. So they're gonna have to recoup some sort of money at some point. I'm not saying they don't have no budget because they do. Of course they do. But you just got relegated. At some point, they're gonna have to budge. He's their probably most highest. He's the most valuable aspect at this current moment of time. You know,
Ward-Prowse, which is I'm surprised he's not been linked with anywhere.
Because Ward-Prowse ain't
good point.
That's why,
yeah,
man.
not good. But what he can give is what Ozzy Goody said about another player. If he can give you goals from set pieces or dangerous corners, a mid-table team, that's an X factor for them. Not for us and Man United, not for Arsenal, Man United. I'm about to say us and Man United. Not for Arsenal, Man United.
West Ham, Aston Villa.
Yeah, no,
Ward-Prowse.
I think West Ham and Aston Villa are too good for Ward-Prowse. Wow, way too good. Like the game's evolving. These players want more than players.
I could even imagine a Ward-Prowse that I'm trying to obviously Everton stayed up a Crystal Palace, Everton, just somewhere where he can give him something, and I think he can do that. But obviously, I am surprised deep down that yes, I'm like you, Cass. I don't rate Ward-Prowse over 90 minutes, but when you've got that X factor of the free kicks and the corners and the deliveries, it's worth buying him and having him in your squad if you're a mid-table team. 100%. Yeah, but
if you're Ward-Prowse, would you rather play football? Or would you just rather be in a squad? If you're thinking in Ward-Prowse's eyes, I think he'd rather play football. He's the captain. He's getting a nice wage. And all this kind of stuff.
Do you think he stays there then and brings them back up?
I think it. Yeah, I can't imagine him. You know what? It's great having a luxury player in your squad, but that's all he is. A luxury player, because if you remember, it was Lavia and another guy that was recovering forward press because the guy can't run, the guy can't press. It's just not his game, and I just think he'd just be a liability at this point. As much as he's great at set pieces, maybe if he might be a signing that comes towards the end of August and says, you know what, we need a centre mid. What kind of different type of centre mid can we get? We've got a good squad. There's a captain down there at Southampton, but how much is Southampton going to ask for, especially after?
Well, actually, how much they're going to ask for if they're asking for 50 million for Lavia? Lavia has to go. Like, I actually don't feel like, when there's some players and you're like, would they stay? I actually feel like Lavia is the type of player that I am going to the Premier League. It's just whether a team pay up. It's simple as that. I can't see him there next year in the Championship.
See, the thing is with Lavia, though, the longer they let this go, and if Liverpool and Arsenal keep kind of sitting back and just simmer, the Southampton, they need a bit of coin here. So they're going to have to start, thinking about the moves they're making. I honestly think 40 mil for Lavia is fair. It's a bit above what we should be paying, but it's fair. But 50 is you're gaslighting it now. It's a bit much. So as long as if they keep playing this game, they could shoot themselves in the foot. Because if Liverpool move on and say, look, we don't have time for this. We need to rebuild our midfield. We can't play with these guys jokers and move on and get themselves another midfielder. The only two teams that are really in for him, really going to be in for him, might be Man United Chelsea and Arsenal. And Chelsea are thinking Caicedo, and they're going to make that their number one move. So it could take even longer. So they got to.
You're right. Yeah, they're not getting both.
They got to think of. I know that. Look, they know what they're doing, but. Do they really know what they're doing the longer they leave this? Mate?
The situation is interesting because I'm going to link it to something random, but David Raya is another one that we saw at the start of the season. Start of the window. It was David Raya is going to be going to Man United were looking at him for 35 million. Then Tottenham were actually like in negotiations and pulled out, ended up getting the Italian goalkeeper. And I feel like the longer they leave it on. Say again?
Yeah, what's happened with him?
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. That Lavia could go down this route of teams are being linked, but because the price they were quoting, which is what Brentford were doing with Raya, you price them out of a move. Then all of a sudden, things go cold. And then it might be at the end of the window that David Raya leaves, and it might be at the end of the window that Lavia leaves. But what clubs are doing at the moment, they can be pricing these players out. And we saw Raya, that happened with Spurs, and Spurs went and got another keeper. If it happens in Liverpool and Chelsea, they might just go and buy another player. Man.
Crazy, 40 million for 1 year left on your contract for a goalkeeper. That's
exactly.
He had a very good
and don't forget, Cass, Brentford went and signed a replacement keeper because they thought he was going.
Yeah, they've already spent dosh.
Yeah,
you know what? It smells of Chelsea. If again end of the window type situation, Chelsea can wait. They got a goalkeeper. They need a second goalkeeper. I reckon they're going to get Raya. I think it's like, we'll give you 25 million, take it or leave it.
They might no, you might be right. They might be waiting and saying, right at the end of the window, they're going to have to accept.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a take it or leave it.
They lose him for free.
Next year, maybe, maybe. And he might even lose like Ivan Toney on free next year. It's going to be interesting.
To actually... Is his contract done?
1 year left.
1 year left. And he's on a 6-month holiday.
I did
I think
not
he's on a
know
6-month
that.
holiday. Yeah, living it
Yeah, he's on a
up.
6-month holiday. He's only got 1 year left. So this guy's laughing, bro. He's taking his sickies. He's taking his annual leave. He's doing it all.
If they don't cash in January, he's gone for free. It's mad.
Yeah,
I know he's on holiday and that now because one of his best friends is from near me. So
I want to talk about another price. I want to talk about Laporte quick. 20 million pounds, and he's been linked to Juventus, right? And I suppose they need another centre back. It's obviously some reinforcements for next season, which I think it smells like a move for Laporte to go to, but 20 million pounds in this. I said it yesterday. I don't understand. Liverpool need a centre back and a left-footed centre back. Why do they not go get someone like him? I know Tottenham tried to get him, 20 million. And obviously Laporte don't even want to know about that. If you're not in the Champions League, he probably doesn't even want to talk to you, or some sort of respectable enough club for his standards. You know, Kimpembe, did he not sign a new contract as well?
Yeah, he done his ACL or something, or he's out for a while.
I'm just thinking of clubs that could go in for Laporte.
Do you want me to be honest with you, Cass? And the reason they haven't, I was talking to Sam about it today, the City fan at work, and City will sell for 25 million abroad. If Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, even Man United, of course, wouldn't come in for him. They're not selling a centre back of the quality of Laporte when fully fit for 25 million to a rival. No way would they let Liverpool strengthen that left centre back area for 25 million. If a team like AC Milan or Sevilla or Villarreal come in, or Barcelona, it's like 25 million, cool, go overseas. We might meet you in the Champions League, we might not. We can deal with that. But selling to a rival in the Premier League for 25 million, for me, that would be one of the silliest decisions I've seen the City board make. If they've done that.
They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it.
It doesn't smell like it does. You know why it smells like a good signing? I think Liverpool have 35 million.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They won't.
But the City won't sell this guy. No way, bruv.
They wouldn't sign him for 25 million.
All right, cool. Hear me out. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Go on.
Pep Guardiola, for one, is not a manager that actually cares. He don't care who goes where. He doesn't care if this team has done that or done this, done that. He don't care. Yeah, so he backs himself and like, my team's good enough. I'll get rid of it. Exactly, right? Laporte wants to leave. Guardiola needs to come in, right? Yes, it won't be 20 million here or 25 million or whatever the price is, but 35 million, nearly enough double his price. It's still a good defender. 29 years of age. If you go look at the amount of touches that man makes in a game, how many times
I'm agreeing with you. In terms of
we agree he's a great player.
I'm agreeing with you the quality. I'm saying that I don't think City are dumb enough to sell to a rival for 25 million.
Exactly. They don't want to make games harder for them in the Premier League. They just want to focus. If it's only 3 teams they have to worry about, they're laughing. Now add Liverpool 4.
Well, you got to think about it. Laporte wants to leave. Let's say his desire is to. This is hindsight, by the way. This ain't transfer talk. This is just hindsight. This is just us making up like a scenario. He wants to go. The club wants him to leave. Pep's not really a guy that really cares who goes where, to be honest. I just don't see
If he sold Laporte to Liverpool for 30 million, I would be
no way.
What about 35 million?
Bro.
No, bro. I just don't think they sell someone.
You won't sell.
They want a team. They've put that price up to say to whoever it is, say Barcelona, Villarreal, Napoli, whoever it is, come and get your man for 25, 30 million. We'll sell abroad. If they sold Laporte to Liverpool, for example, for 25 or 30 million, I would be shocked. I would. He's good. He's a very, 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 very good centre back when fit.
Fair enough. He's only been linked with Juve at the moment. And
there you go. Do you know what, Cass? That is the perfect club. That type of club right there. Juve. You just said Bonucci, Chiellini done. They haven't got leaders. They've got Bremer there. Get Laporte. Perfect.
And They lost Bellick. They do need centre backs, and I'm pretty sure they want to go again next year. So
smash the like people as well, man. 650 of you in here. Make sure, look at this great content we're giving you. Proper football debates as well. Agreeing, disagreeing. It's a Friday, sun's out. So guys, make sure you subscribe as well to Aussie Gooner. It's in the pin chat. And also just make sure you keep liking this video as we're on our way to 12K subscribers now. There you go, 75 or 300.
Yeah. We're nearly at 12K. If you ain't subscribed to 12K here from us, then it's much more than this. We do it twice a day. Different content as well.
What number is Saliba as well on his shirt? Is it 12?
Saliba, was he number 12?
What? But I think he's changed his kit number now.
That's 12. It's still 12. It's
there you go. Saliba
I was hearing news that Saliba's changing his kit number.
He is. He's going to take number 2.
I'm thinking. I don't know if it's true yet. I think I don't know. I'm just hearing shit. It was supposed to be 2. I don't know if it's been confirmed that it's going to be 2. Guys in the chat, there you go. Everyone's saying 2. Thank you very much.
Number 12 was
big
signed
up
a new
BX.
contract. We're on the way to 12K.
I saw Varane taking up a new number. He's switching from 19 to take number 4, I think.
What's up with all this? What's up with everyone changing their numbers?
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah,
he's taking Phil Jones' number. That makes sense.
I think Garnacho might be taking number 19.
Okay, yeah. I like Varane 4. Yeah, Varane 4. I like that. I
wouldn't mind Garnacho taking when friendly. He's take number 17. Yeah. Perfect
Nani,
for me.
Nani vibes.
Yeah, you know it. But yeah, man. Moving on. Obviously, just talking of Manchester United, away from Laporte and everything. Not only are we linked with Onana, we're linked with this Japanese Ghanaian goalkeeper. Yeah. I don't know what his name is. I've never heard anything of him.
No, I'm not gonna guess this one.
5 million or less money, like £3 million or something. Are you taking it?
Do you know what?
What did I just hear?
Yeah.
What did I just hear?
So a young goalkeeper is 20 years
old. You are a red diamond or something?
Yeah. Something like his name's Suzuki, something like this.
Yeah, Zion Suzuki.
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. The name. If he's as good as his name, then he'll be good.
Yeah, the guy is Japanese. What are you on about? He's half Japanese, half Ghanaian. So he's
do you know what? It's one of them.
I'm just reading on it. Yeah.
You know when you've just got to trust the board. If the board are gonna go out there and sign someone as a number 2 for 5 million, it's like cool, get them in. They must have seen something. I watch football, but I do not watch the Japanese league. So if anyone has, cool. But it's one of them ones. I'm just gonna let the board do their thing. But fair play, they're scouting out in Japan. They're doing a Brighton.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, someone posted up a comp thinking it was bad. Like this guy's distribution. I was like, this is meaty. And then I saw another comp and he let a goal in. I was like, nah.
Maybe it's not true. I don't know.
Second choice goalkeeper. I don't know why. Man United's got a very good goalkeeper already in Mateo Kova. Why do you need to go and get this guy?
Yeah. I've heard he's a good youngster. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, Cass. It's an interesting one. Let's just get the number 1 in because no matter what, fingers crossed, Onana is there to play, stay, and make a difference to us. And that looks like that could be done by next Monday or Tuesday. I reckon that could be agreed.
That's a key move for you. That's a key move for Manchester United right now. I mean, dragging you guys a little bit dragging your feet on this deal, but I think you need a player who can distribute the ball from the back. And he's decent on the ball. And if you're going to go in for this keeper, get it done and dusted. Seriously. And I don't know anyone else who's linked to him apart from, I think Saudi. Saudi were linked to him. Were they?
Yeah, I think that was on PR.
But he doesn't want to go there?
Yeah, I think he doesn't want to go there.
Get the deal done. Get it over the line.
I think it is done. I believe this Onana stuff is done. And I'm interested for pre-season. I'm very interested for pre-season. That's all I'm gonna say. I might, if I see Glazers go, I might have to subscribe to MUTV so I can watch it.
Yeah, Cass will do our typical one month subscription. All right, me and Cass do it every year, Ozzy. We just get it for the pre-season games. Cancel the first game of the season. Done.
Trust me, I ain't funding these.
Yeah. To be fair, the way we played last season, it was well worth it. But yeah. Do you know what? I think Onana, it has to be done for me. It will get done. And I just think, like you said, Ozzy, when you look at what Ramsdale has done for your side, despite occasional mistakes which all keepers can make, when you look at Ramsdale in the grand scheme of things, very good season last year. The way he distributes the ball, the way he's comfortable on it, it gives the defense confidence, and that's basically everything that Onana's going to give to us. You know, Varane Martinez can push up higher. We can get our number 8s involved. I looked at Onana's highlights because I was actually on holiday when the Champions League final was on, so it was like the first one I missed in like 20 years nearly, but when I saw the highlights of Onana and the way he was fizzing it into midfield, someone's actually put a question up already, like, what's Mount going to do in an Eric Ten Hag system? Well, if you look at the blueprint of what Onana did against Man City, trying to get the ball fizzed into Barella, get them on the half turn, running at City's back 4, Mason Mount is actually very good on the half turn. And if we can get the ball punched into him in midfield and he can start turning and running into space, that's going to be a very good weapon. I don't want Eriksen on the half turn running because he can't really run with the ball, to be honest. And I'm not a fan of Eriksen right now. He's a good squad player, but that's it. He should be starting. If we can get Mount and Fernandes on the half turn and get Onana, getting our team further up the pitch, we want to be able to sort of do what Arsenal do what City do. We don't want to be playing tennis. Last season, we adapted our game to the team and Ten Hag had to suffer a bit and, you know, teams penned us back and we struggled at times. Arsenal and City I'll probably say 70% of the time, even if they lose games, they have the other team in the halfway line or further back, and they're able to recycle the ball quickly. Onana immediately gives us that. And with Mason Mount as well, then that's perfect. And obviously we need to then get the striker, which anyone...
They're saying £45 million package for Onana. That's the latest rumour.
Do you know what? Anything, Cass, for 45 million or 50 million for a keeper who's a top 5 keeper in terms of what they do and what Ten Hag wants, and he's going to be here for 5-6 years, is a no-brainer. Because the main thing is for me with a keeper is that top teams, and I don't know if I said it on your show, I said it on Rance's show, top teams don't change their keeper often. When you're talking about Courtois at Real Madrid, you're talking about Neuer at Bayern, you're talking about De Gea even at us for 10 or 12 years, Ramsdale now at Arsenal, Edison. These keepers play at top clubs for a long time. A keeper, you don't change every 2-3 years. So we sign Onana for 50 million and he's 27 now and he stays for 5 or 6 years. That's well big value for money because a keeper's a massive position.
Yeah.
It's very good value.
If you actually look at the top teams, where do keepers change a lot? Top 6 clubs, they stay the longest if they do good. They stay for ages.
And the other part is go on.
Allison, yeah.
No, I was just going to say that he's a kind of player, and you were talking about distributing that ball. Ramsdale last season, you see him off the boot, you'd see him out the glove, distribute well past the midfield, and almost get himself, an assist to a goal, or even create a chance.
Yep.
And that's the kind of play that even a player like Anthony, even Anthony can get on the end of a decent ball from Onana. Exactly, because these guys are quick, are very quick. They're quick to get off the mark. And the transition play, having a goalkeeper like that, you can go from a goal kick or from defense to attack very fast by having a goalkeeper who makes the right decision. And that's the big deal, to be on the ball, to be under pressure, and to make the right decision as a goalkeeper. That could lead to a goal, or it could stop a goal, because, we know De Gea is a very good shot stopper, a very good goalkeeper. But when it comes to playing out from the back, sometimes there have been, and even Ramsdale's, it happens, wrong decision, and Ramsdale did that too.
Chance.
And then there's a chance, and then they're put under pressure. So I think the way that you are explaining that, Pep Guardiola likes to play from the back now, Arteta's doing the same thing, copying that. You guys will really benefit from a goalkeeper like Onana and play out from the back, because you do have, going forward, you guys have got some decent players going forward, and they're gonna, let's be honest, if you can transition quick, if you can build up faster, that's more of a chance that you're opening up the other team's defense than if you have to play out from the defender to the midfielder. And
you
it's too slow.
It takes that process out completely. Yeah,
exactly. And then these guys are lined up.
What it does for us as a Man United fan, Cass, as well, is that when we're even at Old Trafford, which we go to quite a lot of times in the season, we're like watching it and we know what we're gonna see. When the game gets the ball, we just know, not even to get excited kind of thing. But imagine having exactly, do you know what I mean? We know what we're gonna see. But imagine having Onana now, and we know that he might go short, he might drill it into midfield,
or like he's gonna give you a heart attack as well, man.
He might ping it in behind, and Rashford's in. Like, I love that unpredictability.
He's going to give me a heart attack as well, man. The guy, the way he likes to dribble around.
I know.
Even Mo said it. Mo said it himself. He's like, this guy gives you a heart attack every single game.
Do you think you'll have one mad bozo moment?
Of course he's going to. And he's going to probably be in the first 6 games of the season.
Look, it's the risk you play. Look, with a goalkeeper like this, even Ramsdale, it's the risk you have to take.
And it happens with Edison.
The risk outweighs.
Edison dribbling it off his goal line last season. I was like, oh my days.
High risk, high reward. But another high risk is Hojlund. Again, the next daily update is exactly the same thing as yesterday, man. It's just like Man United are in positive talks. Hojlund's representatives, they're very impressed at his willingness to join. I've seen this all the time. The only thing I haven't seen is a price, and there's just rumored prices: 55 million euros, 60 million euros. But I reckon it's going to be the same price for Onana. I reckon it's going to be put 40 million down and loads of add-ons.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's exactly the same thing that happened with Ahmed. And I'm kind of getting bored of this now. I just need to hopefully, preseason starts when people next week?
We've gone back training now. Our first game's Wednesday against Leeds.
So it's in before they fly out to America.
We play Leeds in Norway and then we fly to America.
Exactly. So it's the travel to America. That's the next part. Is America? It's like, who can we get in before America? I know Onana will probably be done by Monday or whatever, maybe even today or the weekend. Or Hojlund needs to be done. And I
want to get them in. I want to get them in and do what Arsenal and Pep do, like in terms of getting them in before pre-season. So when it comes to the first game of the season, you're not playing catch up. Like, look at Casemiro. It took him 6 weeks just to find his feet. By then, we're in match week 10. Do you know what I mean? I want to be in that position where it's game week 1. Hojlund's in, Onana's in, Mount's in, and we're kind of looking forward to the first game. Like Arsenal.
What do you think about Greenwood going over there? I want him to go.
I'm
I
cool
want
with
him
it.
to be sold. I need him to go anyways. I want him to go, but maybe that's.
I don't want to talk about the. I'm gonna be real. I'll leave the politics, but in terms of him as a footballer, I'm cool with him going over to Italy because I feel like Lookman's there as well, and Jeremy Boga went there a few years ago. Who's a Chelsea youngster, who's doing well there. I feel like he will get good game time. He'll get good minutes, and he'll be able to focus on his football. And then, do you know what? What happens after is what happens. If he comes back, I'm not happy with it. I accept that it's probably going to happen. And I'm just like, do you know what? I've just got to get on with it, or we move him on next season. But do you know what? If it's going to help us get Hojlund, then I'm all for it, because the first thing is he weren't going to stay and play here anyway. And if he can go and get minutes elsewhere in another country, but we get a player back who's going to start for us, then a bonus. Do you know what I mean? It's a football business, and that's what you're going to do.
The last part is Tottenham.
By the way, Cass, I want to ask you a question.
Oh,
so if Hojlund comes in, right, for like 40 or 50 million, do you think fans need to like be level-headed with their expectations? Because obviously you see highlights and stuff like that. I've said already, I know he's not coming in as the finished article, and he's going to score some goals, but sometimes I'll be like, yeah, you're a bit raw. But yeah, what do you think on it? Because fans might be a bit too excited, and it's like, chill.
I've got the answer. I witnessed Weghorst many games live. I'm good with anything that gets me a few goals. Anything.
Yeah, true. The bar's here now.
Yeah, my bar is so low. I just need to see a few goals, and I'm happy, man.
So Nicholas Bentner comes back. You want him?
Basically, yeah. The last part is Mickey van der Ven or Tap Sober for Tottenham. Are they moving silently and correctly? Like, do you think this is one to watch out for potentially? Because they're just doing their business. While every other team's doing their thing, Tottenham are just going about their business, and it seems like good business. Well, man, did it? No one for that. Mickey van der Ven or Tap Sober. We're talking about some quality centre backs. No one's got nothing to say about it.
Oh no, I was letting Aussie go first. Go.
Look,
he's their rivals.
Look, I'll be honest with you. Spurs, they are moving, but they have to. It's not like, we're just trying to tweak the squad. They need to rebuild the squad. Literally. They need a right back. They do need two centre backs. They need a goalkeeper. They're making the moves they need to make. So they have to build a foundation now because they don't have one. So yeah, they're making some decent moves. It'll solidify them, but other teams around them are not building foundation. They're actually adding to the equation. So yeah, it's good for them, but the other teams around them are strengthening. You know what I mean? I mean, Man United, they are dragging their feet. So maybe they're looking at Man United saying, okay, but Chelsea are going to start making moves. Newcastle have already made moves. Liverpool have already made moves. Arsenal have already made moves. Manchester City will make moves. And we're all thinking that it's going to be like someone like Frankie de Jong or wherever it may be. So look, they have to. Yeah.
You know what it is I think Harry Kane's going to end up staying for the season. They keep Harry Kane. They already scored lots of goals and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Right? He's not going to let him go. Bro.
Friends cannot get any worse. They got two young fullbacks, energetic ones, are better than their current ones. They still got Porro, to be fair, who it'll be interesting to see if he adapts at right back. And then they bring in a centre back or two. I mean, their midfield can't get any worse.
No, they got a decent midfielder in Madison. That's a decent signing in Madison.
It doesn't look like they're going to sell any big players.
Looking to get a left winger as well at this moment of time. They've been
Solomon's coming in.
Oh yeah, they got Solomon, and that's on a free.
Yeah, free.
Manor Solomon.
Yeah.
We're talking Manor Solomon.
Yeah.
He's injury prone. He's a good player, but he gets injured every 5 minutes.
But then again, if you're competing with Son, you're not going to have to play every game to get injured. So then you're going to be used as a utility player.
But Son last season. Son's a great player. But last season was a very bad season for him.
I hear you. And I don't think it's a bad point.
Kulusevski was great, but Son.
But okay, Chelsea weren't good last season, and nor were Tottenham, and no one really stood out. Harry Kane was the standout player for Tottenham as always, but no one else really stepped up. And again, at Chelsea, you look at Enzo, he came in halfway through the season. I'll say that he showed his quality, but then Chelsea was still poor. When you look at Chelsea now under Poch, you're going to see some players who had poor seasons last year step up. And the same with Heung-min Son. He's done it in the Premier League before, so why can't Postecoglou, who's going to be more attacking, get a better tune out of Heung-min Son, who's actually always played on basically the counter-attack his whole time at Spurs? So I'm not going to bash Son and say that he's going to have another bad season, but I don't think he'll be as bad as what last year was. He can get back scoring goals.
He'll definitely be better than what he was last season. But it's a lot of people are anticipating him to get back to his full form, and that's a possibility. But at the Son is what, 31 now?
Yeah,
31 years old.
He ain't getting any better.
No, so he's not. I swear he's like 29.
No, he's 31 now.
He's 31, bro. He just that guy's like aging like a fun.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, he turns 31 tomorrow.
Yeah.
There you go. So he's, as a winger, when you get wingers getting in the 30s, that's what, 30s is when they start to kind of go down. Now, Son's he's a world-class winger, world-class. But last season, I looked at him and I'm thinking, is he not interested or is there something going on? Now, when he comes back this season, he will definitely beat the numbers of last, no problem. But will he be back to the Son that was before? That's a big question. And I think at 31 years old, it's going to be a bit hard. But he's a quality player. I look at Kulusevski. I look at Kulusevski. I say great player. As long as Ange can keep him fit, their front three is looking good. Madison is looking great. Their midfield is fair. The centre back, the acquisitions of centre backs are needed, but they also need a new right back. They also need another left back.
Pedro Porro signed now. They signed him on a permanent. I think he could be their right back. I do think he can.
Wow. He's better than Emerson Royale.
Emerson. I don't know. The thing is. Sorry, Cass. Just quickly, where do we think? Do we generally think Spurs can challenge for top 4? I haven't asked anyone that yet.
Not 4, but
I don't think they can.
Top 6.
Top 6, yeah. Top 6 for sure. Top 6 for sure.
Yeah.
And they are building now. So they have. If they do this, if Levy is really serious about this team, if he really wants to do something, he has to build a decent foundation. Ange Postecoglou is a good coach. He's a very good manager. No, he's not better than Conte. No, he's not better than Mourinho. So people have to understand that those guys are world class. Now, Levy has to come in and he has to sort of this manager now. You wanted him in. Don't back him into the corner like you did the other ones. Just support him a little bit, and at least then you might get a tune out of this squad. Because if you don't, it's going to be, it's going to be horrible again. And Kane might be leaving next season. What are you going to do then? Then it really falls apart. So,
thank you very much.
It could be bad if he doesn't back this friggin' manager. So, Tottenham fans in the chat, if you guys want and I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm going to call it. I know what it is to have a shit owner, and I still got one. If you guys want if you want your club to get somewhere, put some pressure on this junk owner of yours, and instead of saying, "Oh, we're playing wonderful football," say, "No, I want more. I want you to spend more. I'm not here to just watch great football. I'm here to see my team friggin' progress." Because this guy's taking a mickey, mate. He's having a laugh at you, just like the Cronkies did with us.
All right, but yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tonight, more than likely at 10 o'clock. Make sure you smash the like button. I'll be on 300 yet. We are 30 off of 300. So if you have done
Come on, man. Smash the like quickly, man. That's all you got to do. A quick thumbs up
and like the video. And yeah, man,
drop a comment in as well. Like, let us know anything you've heard of debate. If you want to leave a comment as well, Castle, I always see you. Like, we always check the comments to respond on our Never a File account. So yeah, man, like the video, drop your comments in below the stream after it's done, and we'll reply to you. And
subscribe to Aussie Gooner in the pinned if you like the way he talks.
Big up.